Hey people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new video. I'm so excited to film today's video because I love talking about underrated books. When I did this video last year, I focused on marginalized authors because I feel like in 2020, marginalized authors had a harder time promoting their books in 2020, but this year I feel like a lot of marginalized authors' books were really popular this year, thankfully. So anyway, with that said, the first book on this list is called All Hidden Gifts. This book is a YA urban fantasy following a young girl whose tailored readings make her the talk of the school, but one of them goes poorly wrong. So this book was so good, and it was so absolutely awesome. I'm so excited to read the sequel next year. Well, this year because this video comes out in 2022, but I'm filming it in 2021 still. But anyway, I'm so excited to read the sequel because this book was so good. First of all, the plot was so intriguing and it was so fast-paced and it was absolutely so thrilling. The characters were so well-developed and so distinct. The romance was so cute and it was so awesome. I often see this book marketed as a sapphic book, and I just wanted to clarify that the main character is actually not sapphic. Her love interest is gender fluid, but she is cis-het. So anyway, I just wanted to get that across because I see a lot of people marketing this book as sapphic, and it's not sapphic. But anyway, this book is so awesome. It is so well done, and I really enjoyed it. The fantastical elements were so well incorporated. The characters were well developed. The romance was well developed. The plot was awesome. The world building was great, and I really highly recommend this book because it's so good. The next book on this list is called Sing Me Forgotten. This book is a YA fantasy retelling of Phantom of the Opera, and it was absolutely so fantastic and so unique. I'm so excited to read this author's next book next March, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this book was excellent and it was so unique and it was absolutely so inventive. I've never read a retelling before of Phantom of the Opera, so I didn't really know what to expect from the plot at all, or from the story or anything like that, which is awesome. I love not knowing what to expect when I start a story. The plot was so excellent, so intriguing, so thrilling. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The world building was so immersive and so inventive and absolutely so unique. I think this book is a debut, if I'm not mistaken, but it did not read as a debut because it's absolutely so good and it's so unique and it's so underrated. And for what? It's absolutely so good. It was so awesome, and with that I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Foretold. This book is a YA fantasy following a young girl with OCD who discovers that she can see the future and joins a secret society of other people who can also see the future. This book is so good. I'm so excited to read the sequel. I have no idea when the sequel comes out because there's no release date or cover or anything like that, but I know that there is a sequel coming. But anyway, the world building was so inventive and it was so immersive and it was absolutely so unique. The plot was so action-packed and so fast-paced and so thrilling. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The romance was so cute and so well developed. This book is so good. It is so awesome and it was absolutely so thrilling, and I really enjoyed it. This book deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so underrated. Again, I don't know if this book is a debut or not, but it did not read as a debut, and what I mean by that is that it did not read as if this is the author's first foray into the writing industry, if that makes any sense. Anyway, this book is excellent and it's so underrated, and I really enjoyed it, so I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Half-Orphans Handbook. This book is a YA contemporary following a young girl who's grieving her dad at a summer-long grief camp. This book is so good and it's so well done. First of all, the plot was so intriguing and it was absolutely so thrilling, and it hooked me in right away. Second of all, the main character is such a wonderful, lovely, well-developed, distinct main character, and we love to see it. Third of all, the romance was so cute, and it was so fluffy, and it was absolutely so well-developed. Fourth of all of the platonic relationships, like for example between the main character and her brother, were so well-developed and so awesome, and I really enjoyed every single element of this book. This book is so underrated. And for what? Because it was absolutely so fantastic and so excellent, and I really, really enjoyed it. And with that, I would highly, highly recommend it because it's absolutely so good. The next book on this list is called Foreverland. This book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young girl who runs away to an amusement park but doesn't quite succeed in running away from her problems as well. This book is so good and it's absolutely so fantastic. First of all, the plot is so intriguing and it's so thrilling and it's absolutely so fast-paced. Second of all, the characters are so well-developed and so distinct, and I was so emotionally attached to both of them because I was so emotionally invested in the fact of why they were running away to the amusement park. And by they, I mean the main character and the other character that she meets at the amusement park. But anyway, the world building and all the amusement park elements were so well executed and so well researched. This book is so awesome. It's so well done and it's so underrated and it deserves so much more hype. So with that, I would highly, highly recommend it because I will gladly read more books from this author in the future because her writing is so good. The next book on this list is called P.S. I Miss You. This book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young girl who's figuring out her sexuality, and she's sending letters to her older sister who was sent away from the strict Catholic home after becoming pregnant. This book was so good, and it was absolutely so well done. First of all, the letter format of the story really helped bring the story to life so much more, and I have a soft spot for books set in letters. Second of all, the plot was so intriguing, and it was so fast-paced, and it was absolutely so thrilling. Third of all the characters were so well-developed and so distinct. Fourth of all, the sapphic romance was so cute, and it was so well done. I love reading religious queer stories because I feel like the majority of queer stories I read are secular, so it's refreshing to see representation of queer people who are also from religious homes or are religious themselves. You know what I mean? Anyway, this book was so well done and it's so awesome, and I would highly, highly recommend it. The penultimate book on this list is called The Lost Language. This book is a middle-aged contemporary following a young girl who's trying to save a dying language and also is trying to save what could be a dying friendship. This book is so fantastic and it's so well done. First of all, this book is set in free verse, and I also have a soft spot for books set in free verse. And in this story, it really made the story come to life so much more. Second of all, the characters were so well developed and so distinct. Third of all, the plot was so intriguing and it was so thrilling. Fourth of all, this story is so whimsical and it's so wholesome, and I really, really enjoyed it. The cover is so pretty and it's so whimsical, and it really matches the tone of the story, so we love to see it. This book is so fantastic and I really, really enjoyed it, and I would gladly read more from the author because her writing is so good. So anyway, like I said, this book is really, really good and I would highly, highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Catch the Light. This book is a YA contemporary following a young girl who moves cross-country and ends up falling for somebody who completely turns her life upside down. This book is so fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed it. First of all, The writing is so lyrical, and it was absolutely so pretty. And the writing reminded me of Nicole and Jennifer Neven, which I know is a very, very high compliment because those authors are so talented, and this author is just as talented. And I'm so excited to read more books from her in the future because her writing is so pretty. Second of all, the plot was so intriguing, and it was absolutely so thrilling. Third of all, the characters are so well developed and so distinct. And fourth of all, the romance was so cute, and it was absolutely so well developed. This book was really awesome and really good. So with that, I would highly, highly recommend it. So, in conclusion, out of all the books that I read in 2021, these I felt like were the most underrated. I read a great deal of books in 2021, so I could have included so many more books, but for me, I feel like these are the most underrated. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the pink heart emoji, any of the pink heart emojis that you can find. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!